Agenda, anything, need approval of the agenda or amend it or whatever we need to do?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Okay, approval of the minutes for September 1st. We'll do September 1st first, I guess.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Unanimous.
Okay, next will be the special board meeting September the 16th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second. Do you want to vote?
Okay, next we got special meeting minutes, August 31, 2020, 2021. Sorry.
You're not in here.
Yeah.
You're not in here. Ms. Ellen said there was no need for that. They were approved, but that's okay.
All right. Moving on to public comment. Need a motion to go into public comment.
I'll make a motion to go into public comment.
Second? Oh.
Unanimous.
Does anybody like to speak public comment? He's on the agenda.
Okay, yes, I pay taxes on 8 properties in town, okay? I'm a little tired of being lip service and no real service. Okay? I've been asking for years to get the drain opened up across 4th Street. This is the drain that your previous alderman filled in with concrete. Probably should be illegal to do that. But anyway, I've been asking for it to be opened up so that that side of 4th Street could drain into the perfectly good drain on the north side. So, you've been down there, you've been down there, you've seen it. The mayor's been down there and seen it. Everybody agrees it should be done, but nothing happens.
So we have to, for it to be done, we'll have to tear, basically we're going to have to tear the road back up, put a new culvert in.
No, you don't have to tear up. There's just the concrete filled in on one side.
It's also holding the head wall up to where they put that new section in. So we'd have to get some stuff done, but I mean, we'll have to get somebody to do it. All guys
Can you get it with the change to get it done? Because I said, one of your town aldermen that caused the problem to start with. To satisfy one
Have you been down?
other person down there.
Which alderman are you referring to, sir?
Previous alderman. You probably guess.
Honestly, have you came to us before and talked to us about it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steve was saying it.
I went down there that day and looked at it.
Yeah.
Our maintenance guy said he'd have to have something to bust out the concrete because it's poured about 3 or 4 foot in on that side.
That was poured,
So that is
was
what
poured in
we're-
afterwards. That was filled and poured in afterwards, I
Will
think.
you be down there tomorrow, sir? I'd like to come and look at it.
Sure. Give me a call and I'll
Is that one reason why all the water ponds up on the street and it's not
no,
able to drain
it's got
out?
nothing to do with the north side of
Past Bowman's is just down
It's
below.
on the south side.
It's right across from the ball court.
I would like to come and look at it too. Yeah,
Anyway,
okay.
What time, what's a good time for us to look at it, sir?
then tells me waiting, I can be available.
I'll be down there sometime tomorrow day.
And so you just leave your number.
Tomorrow's a bad day, I've got to go to Asheville, tomorrow's a bad day.
Okay.
Okay.
It's just up and back for the day. So Thursday,
So if you don't care, leave your number with Sherry,
sure,
and then that way they have your number, they can contact you whenever they get down there.
okay, I appreciate it,
Yeah.
thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thanks, you.
You know how to get over it. You know how to get over it.
Okay, is there any other public comment?
Make a motion to close public comment. We don't have anything else.
Second.
Unanimous. All right, we're gonna move that on into old business, the town hall mold issue update. As far as I know, they haven't built the platforms yet for the humidifiers to get some of the water out. still working on getting the platform built, and that's the only thing, as far as I know, that's all we like, to have that project completed. Because if they set down low, there's nowhere to pump it out. So we're gonna build a platform and set that modifier on it, and then they have a hole that we can run out to a drain. But they set too low, so that was the issue, and we're working on that. Alright. Next is the golf cart tag update. Fortunately, the mayor isn't here today. He was going to get us some price on the thing, but there's some other steps I think we're going to have to do to move forward, and we'll have to pass a.
Yeah, you need a golf cart resolution. I had sent you all an email. If you want me to send it again, I will. It was back in June, and it's a regulation of golf carts. And it's just a memorandum of what's required, and it's about 9 things. And I did a rough resolution to adopt golf cart ordinance.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta do all this before you can get to the golf cart.
Permits and tags.
And part of that is the tag. But yeah, you do these 2 things first. Well, actually, you have a public hearing on your resolution, but your resolution has to contain pretty much what your regulations are going to be in fees. So before you even get the tags, you got to do your resolution and adopt the golf cart ordinance.
I know Mr. Slaughter's here you got anything to say?
I was looking for stickers.
Yeah, but
That's through Raleigh for the map. First time where I live, my chief, I talked to him. And stuff.
I just wish there was more residents that was, helping you push this ordinance through, but right now you're the only one. I believe you may be the only one that has a golf cart in town, I don't know.
I hadn't seen them.
But like
Not in the city.
she said, we'll have to pass a resolution and ordinance before we get to that, the cost of the tag.
I thought you done that.
I don't think so. We looked at it, we never did make any decisions.
Yeah.
But which one has to come first?
Well, the golf cart resolution.
The resolution?
Anyway,
Anyway, we can talk about the tags. We've done a public hearing and then the ordinance and then you'll actually have a tag application.
we passed something related to the golf carts in July, I'm pretty sure.
I think it's in June and
I think we've heard it in a while.
We passed something, I'm with it, the August meeting.
Well, was that several?
I think they can continue.
Senior citizens and stuff.
I thought we had tabled it again
Yeah.
because we did not
I don't think
know.
we made any decision about
Yeah,
that.
I don't think, but, I mean, if we have to start at 1, making the resolution and getting that all lined up and.
We voted on something, though, I remember.
So,
We haven't voted on this yet.
I didn't think
The attorney
so.
did send us the golf cart resolution. I'm pretty sure I put it in a packet a couple of months ago, but you kept saying, we're gonna look into it, That's all
It's
that's
been
happened
tabled.
so far.
You see, the resolution, I gotta meet with that. It's all full of blanks because I just sent you what you all have to get a handle on as a board. You'd have to discuss this and fill in the blanks.
Yeah, I turned in a lot of information, from Raleigh and stuff.
Yeah, and I got a lot of information, both online and from Miss Ellen.
But that's right, we haven't received, we haven't completed a resolution yet. We just got a base, like a base.
There's a lot of blanks in that resolution that has to be filled in.
Yeah, I just did a rough one.
So maybe we need to set up, would you say a work session on that?
Well, or maybe on the next agenda,
Just have all the blanks filled out and ready to go with the resolution?
yeah, or discuss it on the next agenda if you want to, as opposed to a work session.
Yeah.
And we'll go over all the blanks.
Okay, that sounds like a plan, dude.
Maybe a special permit for them.
No, not according to the
Handicap
statute.
or something.
Not according to the,
Yeah.
yeah.
But as of right now, we'll leave it, remain table, we'll come back next month and work on the resolution, fill in all the blanks and stuff, and that's where we'll start. And then, once we get that done, then there'll be a public hearing we'll have to do and an ordinance. So it can be up to 2 to 3 more months before we get this done. It's the process. If we could do it today, we'd probably pass it today. But there's a process we have to go by.
Everything's a problem.
But I do thank you for coming up here every month. And, it's good seeing you. Thank you.
Take it easy.
All right, the LVAC survey, the other day when I spoke with the mayor, there's, we still got no from the existing surveyor that we had. Well, he passed away and he referred it to another one and we've not heard from them. So it looks like we're gonna have to search for another surveyor to do that corner of the town property. And, I guess that's what we'll have to work on before next meeting. And everybody right now, just the ones that are working are backed up on just about everything. So, we'll just leave, item number 3, remain table.
Okay.
I mean, a motion and a second.
Make a motion to table it. Item 3,
Second that.
Evergreen survey.
Yes. And the annexation ordinance on item number 4, that was already passed, we just had to get the original and some signatures, so there'll be no action on that because it's already been passed. Moving on to item number 5, the Old Town Hall exterior. I'm still trying to get a guy to come look at the integrity of the concrete. Do you know anybody, John? I mean, I tried to get Tim, but I'm just not able to get up with him. But now that he's retired, so he might be able to have a little bit more time.
I can ask a couple of people.
At least come look at it, because the owner of the property beside was looking at the integrity of the concrete, because it's deteriorating.
Yeah.
And if you could just get, I think his name is, I can't think his name. Anyway, he lives right there where those, the old shelter used to be, on Main.
Okay.
And basically right across from, just down from where the old town hall is, it's that next group of apartments up beside it. He lives right there.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
But you can walk around and you go down the steps and around and look underneath and those on the other side as well.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll just try to keep getting somebody to look, because that's what he's worried about, that since it's, some of the block is kind of, looks like, well, they've been there forever. But he just wanted to see the integrity of the masonry because it attached to his building. And the Mark X Bushmaster, I think that's the, long arm that hooked to our new track hoe. We haven't heard anything from Hackney yet, so that's, we're just gonna be on hold on that until we get back from him. The lawnmower purchase, I'm gonna put that on hold right now. I mean, my opinion is to put it on hold till next month. Might have to get a new quote because it's been a couple months if we decide to purchase another one. New part-time maintenance employee.
I know we had that table due to that situation where the state said that we were paying in the wrong, employees out of the wrong area, and then we didn't have enough money.
Yeah, and there is in your packet, there's a letter that I'm gonna say was sent out to, Farmville. And, have you seen that?
Yeah, I read part of it.
Do you wanna glance over. That was her response.
Can you summarize it? In response to why have we not allocated all of the water, general fund expenses to water and sewer in the past? This was her, response to that. She said, this North Carolina Treasurer recommends it, and if you follow recommendations, when you want loans and fundings or grants, or if you ever want to lower a water bill, you'd have to follow those recommendations. It's not required by the general statute, so that's why they couldn't enforce it like during an audit. So it's something this board can choose to do if they want to show the true numbers with the water and sewer, so that you know that you're treasuring enough for
And I had a problem with the, you know, our salary and the mayor's. And because that was included in that, it was gonna happen, that was gonna have to go to the water and sewer as well.
We're
Making decisions, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yes, and we asked, or if there was any other surrounding, I don't think there is anybody else that has that,
I've
so.
researched about every town around, and the vast majority of our employees are paid out of the water sewer fund, and that's opposite with other towns. The majority of theirs are paid out of the general fund.
So that was her response, and,
I'd like to talk to her some more about that. I'll email her later.
so you wanna put that on hold again?
Yeah. Table that.
Okay.
What do we table?
Number 8,
Number 8, okay.
and then the motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to table it.
Second.
Unanimous. Okay, unmetered water data. I guess this is the water audit worksheet.
That's nothing we're tracking, let's get that. So Kim Barnett with the state, North Carolina Department of the Environmental Quality came by, she's the one who's been talking to us about that grant for the Tolola Creek Water Plant. She's still trying to make sure, as she says, that towns continue to give out free water and not and that we need to meter everything. She had came in a couple of months ago and looked at the list of the unmetered and noticed that the car wash had been on there for 4 or 6 months, and she said, you know, but not only was it unmetered, meaning you're supposed to keep track of all water usage, you're also supposed to bill, you know, and so I showed her our updated spreadsheet, which is in front of you, and so we have now moved from 55 to 60% unaccounted for water usage to 31%. Our goal is 15%, so she was very happy with that improvement. And wanted you to know that she says keep up the good work, because that's the way we're going to be able to get this grant. And so I went ahead and attached your list of who's not metered as of now. So we still have that same 4 from the 1st of August. And then we just mentioned those first 4, you know, like especially, Tolola Creek Water Plant, Long Creek Water Plant, we're not going to get more revenue, but they use water. So we need to meter it.
Yeah.
And so that's just your list to know that we still want to keep on that. You want to keep the meters on hand, which we have them on hand. And so when they're not working, we just need to go change them.
So actually, over half of the water was not even being metered. Half of
The water was not being accounted for, so it could have been a leak, it could have been meters that didn't work for 3 years.
Yeah.
And so Sean had asked me, what was the lost revenue? I was telling you how much it was costing the town.
Yeah.
Just at the cost, that's how much it cost Carrie to produce the water. So last month was $4,537, but if that had been lost revenue, meaning that we could have billed it all out, that's $26,000. So that is a maintenance employee's salary. So we want to stay on top of those.
And that was just 1 month?
Yes, that's for 1 month. That's right. If you multiply that times a year, then I'll let y'all do that in your head. Yes.
Well over 200 grand.
Yes, okay. So I still encourage the board to encourage Steve or encourage maintenance to fix those. You know.
And they need to all be fixed.
But there's improvement. It's a good thing. It's a good report.
Under old business, item number 10, the ARP funds update.
look at an option number 2 and option number 3, I wanted to mention, last month Debbie had said, is there any more funds that have lost revenue? And I went back to look, we did have a business that, as I've told you before, businesses, we can't collect on their revenue. We can collect against customers, residents, but when it's a business, we had one that closed and left us with an $850 bill. So I included that since it was during COVID, which it probably was a result of COVID, some of them had so much trouble. And that increased your uncollected your lost revenue to $9,011. That was an increase right there. So I give you another option. I had given you option 1 last month, and today I've given you option 2 and 3. And I also attached the regulations. This is a grant money. We can only use it these certain ways. And if we decide that we just don't qualify for any COVID-related expenses, then in 2024, we just return this grant money. The only money we can put back into our water and sewer fund is that $9,011.
My concern was legality of this, so I reached out to the NC School of Government, and this is quoted what they sent me. The town must first adopt a policy that sets eligibility criteria for premium pay as a required internal control to ensure that the funds are used appropriately. I would definitely recommend having the town attorney look at the U.S. Treasury guidance on this and advise the board whether it is worth the risk to expend the funds in this manner. They will have to report to the U.S. Treasury on how it spends its lost revenue portion of the ARP. So it is likely there will be some scrutiny about how the monies are spent. And that's a quote from the NC School of Government.
And that's why last month I said that, so this is a proposal, and if the board is okay with it, I would submit this to the state, since that's where we're getting our funds, this is federal money going to the state through to us. And if they approve this COVID expense, then we would do it.
Okay.
So you're looking just to get it sent to the state to see if they'll approve it?
I'm looking for what y'all would like to do, or postpone and do, wait till 2024.
So you're saying we need an ordinance clarifying who the essential personnel, or is that right?
Oh, it's a,
No, ordinance is on there. It's a policy that sets eligibility criteria for premium pay as a required internal control to ensure that the funds are used appropriately.
Okay.
That's it. That's a quote from the UNC School of Government.
which is good, and which we can do, and I can type that up for the next meeting if you like, but, I just want to mention, like with some places, they'll be increasing their pay by $13 an hour, and that will be an ongoing increase in up to $25,000, but we didn't get that kind of thing, so I have proposed just a little bonus, just a little one-time shot, so it won't be anybody else being paid out from this point on.
They recommended the town attorney look at the U.S. Treasury guidance on this.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking you all did, Sonia, you did one.
As,
We voted to receive the funds.
yeah. But this is how to pay
How
out
we're
the
going to
funds.
spend this funds.
Yeah, we did one for to receive the fund, now we gotta do one to pay out the funds. So if you wanna draft one up with, can you give them a copy of that?
Yeah.
And then we'll act on it next month, is that all right with everybody?
Yeah.
But as far as the 9,100, it can be used anyway.
That's the way I understand it. When I was
Now, for everyone,
in
the essential worker, that has to be on the ordinance, is that correct?
To adopt a policy that sets.
I keep saying ordinance, I'm sorry.
it's for, my essential workers down the second item. And that will be, like you'll see on your third page of that handout, that will be the definition of essential worker for us will be a sanitation worker. That's someone who is working with sanitation. or that is someone who is involving in regular in-person interaction on a regular basis with customers. The exposure of COVID
If you'll, get with Ellen and draft up a
policy.
policy, that's
Yes,
that's out.
sure will, I'll bring that back.
And then we will act on it at our November meeting.
Okay.
Is that all right with everyone?
So this first paragraph in this, I don't know if Jens looked at it or whatever, is that stating that some of the stuff that we can do with that money from this, UNC School of Government?
That is right.
So the things in that first paragraph, we can use some of that money to do that with?
In the
So it
first
says to
paragraph,
doing minor construction projects,
we can do infrastructure, which means
it's to hiring new employees, to upgrading software system, to giving a rebate to the taxpayers. Could it be part of, could that money be used as part of that? That's how I'm reading it, so I just wanted to make sure I was reading it right.
yes.
There are a lot of expenditure options.
So there is more options than just what she's said.
There's,
Well, if you
the
have an
policy
employee,
requirement is you all make a decision.
Yeah.
I mean, instead of just weighing in and you
Right,
decide.
so we do have options, is what I'm saying, as to other than
Yeah.
what,
Yeah, we do.
I mean, if you look at that, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
There's an option there to hire a new employee, there's options to upgrading software system. Does that mean that we could have some of that money to help with our
Yeah.
water meter? You know, we were thinking about doing that, that's a way to use that money
General
in,
government projects. It's just, as Sean said, you're gonna have, there can be quite a lot of requests from the board, a lot of requests from different employees. But you all just, you only have X dollars.
right, I know
So,
that.
and that's what, you can do general government purposes, as long as you've all agreed to it. If it's projects, I mean,
if it's directly related to the pandemic, and you can't say that it's directly related to the pandemic, then no, you cannot. And they were very specific about that. So if you do decide there was some issue that the town
How is buying
was
police vehicles related to the pandemic?
last sentence that
How
paragraph.
is minor
I thought
construction
it did not
related?
have to be directly related to the.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way that's written, that's why I was asking. It doesn't have to be that.
Directly
It has to be, it has to be. And I'll get more information, because they were very specific that if it does, this is only a COVID grant. And if it doesn't have, we can work on infrastructure if it helps us with providing water to our, customers, because water is the most essential, water and sanitation is the most essential of all.
Right,
But
and if
remember-
you read that,
But remember, if you're hiring an employee, you need to make sure and know that that's a temporary employee, and once the funds are gone, they are gone. And if they can help us with the pandemic, for example, if we did COVID testing, or if we did COVID shots, or, anything COVID related.
right here it says in this last thing, it says ARP funds may be used for the general government projects, services, and activities that do not directly relate to pandemic.
Directly.
That do not directly relate to it, so it can be more.
It can be, improved water. So, like, we could put this 100,000 aside, and if we do get to open up that water plant, we can make that our match. But we'd have I think you'll have a tough time, you need the water meter systems, you might have a tough time seeing how our employees read meters easily, more easy, would help the pandemic.
What is our timeline on this? Do we have one?
2024.
Maybe we can think about this too between now and our next session, along with this ordinance or annexation of golf carts, and just look at this and check into it. Because, I mean, that gives us a variety of things that we could use the money for that would help the taxpayers, plus our employees. I mean, if it helps with the new water meter thing, that protects the guys from not having to be exposed to someone with COVID. It keeps them in the vehicle, it keeps them away from people. Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
There's
on
more
that?
to this article, and there may,
I just seen that and I thought I'm gonna ask,
well,
so.
really the second paragraph, it is, the school of government, now remember, they're fallible too. You can't live on every word of the school of government, but it does say there is authority to spend a small portion of ARP funds for general government purposes. But you have to do the formula. That's what you all are gonna work on, whether you have it worked out next month, is, what's important is, where do you wanna put the funds that you are gonna get?
Right,
And you can expend them, for general government
Yeah.
purposes, like your meter program.
Yeah, but like they warned, the town will have to report to the US Treasury on how it spends.
That's right. Yeah, that's why we're gonna get it approved ahead
There
of
will
time,
be
so we're not
some
gonna
scrutiny
pay it
about how
back.
monies are spent.
That's right. I went to the
yeah, I
board
get that too.
Mhm.
You know, general government purposes, meters are important, your water, your sewer, but if you go spend it on putting up a fence, I think
That's a little bit,
so, but general government purposes, but I think you need to be careful what they are. And, your infrastructure, you can't live without water, sewer, you can't live without your employees. If you have dangerous situations, like sidewalks are dangerous or something, I think that's all, as long as you have a basis.
well, it gives us some options that I wasn't aware of until I read this, so. I mean,
We
there's-
wanna leave the table.
Yeah, I think we need to look into it a little more, figure out how we're wanting to spend the money other than just these two items.
Alright, you make that motion.
Make a motion to keep the, what is it, TRP,
ARP.
ARP table.
Yeah, I'll second.
Unanimous. Alright, the mayor's not here, but, I gave a little bit of update. All the building project is done. I don't know if, you've noticed them, but they are out. And a lot of people seem to be very receptive of it. I'm glad that we got those repaved, and they said they hope that we can get some more done in the coming years. So, as far as I know, that's all I have, for an update for that. Sonia?
Okay, so the new county treasurer training session has been scheduled for November 22nd at the community building. That is 9:30 until, and I went ahead and sent a letter to the new candidates. So, after November 2nd, we'll know who the new council will be. So they'll be sure to be trained and start out from the beginning. We had, 2 council meetings, they were planning to be there for the training session. And so I just want to mention, I've only budgeted $1,000 a month for an attorney. And so if we ever do additional things besides a regular meeting, and when we talk to her, we'll need to put that money in the budget. We'll need to amend that budget for that.
They're doing some kind of a training session with us, and it's concerning a lot
So
of us.
it originally started, we wanted to meet, our board wanted to meet with Edmondson, but they set up like a training session
Okay.
and that everybody could attend. So my understanding was we was gonna have like a one-on-one with the state treasurer, but it turned into a training session where they invited other people to come in. And, as far as the questions we had, I don't want them to be everybody else's problem.
I don't think they need to be aired out with everybody else neither,
But
So
anyway,
lots of people are coming.
I don't know.
I don't know who all was signed up. I know there was several, I know all of us,
3 counties, 5 towns.
3 counties was coming.
5 towns.
5 counties. So if it's gonna be a training session, I don't see there's no need for the attorney to be there.
No.
And then, I put
But if
in,
it's a one-on-one meeting with the treasurer, yeah, I want the attorney there too.
Yeah, I'm just making note
Just
that,
give me some training materials so I know
What they're training us
what
on.
you
It's basically the finance, the do's and don'ts.
and the general statute for the
Yeah.
board.
Yeah.
Yes. The do's and the don'ts. And so then I included, we completed our 2021 workers' comp self-audit report. I thought it'd be nice to include, Gary Burkhart's comment to me. So thank you for submitting a perfect self-audit in a timely manner. So we have completed that. I've had several public records requests. And I wanted to mention with our board, me and Steve, the mayor, a couple of years ago went to public records training. And so we both are aware that as a municipality, council employees are not able to delete texts or emails, whether it be on your personal email or your personal phone or your business email, your business phone. If it relates to the municipality, you're supposed to keep that. And so it's brought to my attention that some were not aware of that because one of the requests was all text and emails, and I've only received those from 2 of the 6 that were requested.
Well, I'm sorry, but I didn't, I wasn't aware of that. And my phone, I pretty much have to delete texts at least every day or every other day. I did not have any texts on my phone to send.
And one of the requests was some older credit card statements that I could not find in-house. And I just wanted I wanted the board to realize that the Visa credit card statements past September of 2014 are no longer available. So I'm not going to be able to supply that request. Anything prior to September 2014.
If we got that, if we can't get them, just type up a letter and send it to the requester that they're unattainable.
Yes, I've made them aware.
Okay.
16 years ago.
I just want the board aware, because, it might come back to them, but that's all I have.
Alrighty. Moving on to new business, item number 3, the Cdbg sewer line grant project ordinance. We need to read this ordinance.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. It says, this is an ordinance establishing a project budget for the town of Robbinsville, North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality, Community Development Block Grant Infrastructure Funds. Whereas the town of Robbinsville participated in the Division of Water Infrastructure, Community Development Block Grant Infrastructure Program administered by the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality. And whereas the town of Robbinsville has been allocated the Cdbg grant in the amount of $114,460 for planning and administrative activities associated with sewer collection line improvements along Water Street, North Main Street, Coker Road, 4th Street, and whereas the town of Robbinsville now desires to establish a project budget for the account for the disposition of funds, now that we obtained by the town council of the town of Robbinsville, North Carolina, that section 1, a project budget shall be established for the North Carolina DEQ water infrastructure CDBG grant period 1 October 6, 2021 to May 31st, 2022. Section 2, revenues for the project shall be $114,460. Section 3, projected expenditures. Environmental report is $15,000. Engineering report is $10,000. Admin is $89,460. Which brings it to a total of $114,460. Section 4, the ordinance shall remain in effect to the completion of the DEQ and Division of Water Infrastructure block grant is complete. Section 5, the town of Robbinsville mayor, town clerk, to the board are instructed to take appropriate action to implement this ordinance adopted by and approved the blank day of the blank 2021. So, we need a motion to approve this ordinance and a second.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll second.
Unanimous.
And, the mayor, as soon as he gets back, he'll sign this ordinance. Okay, next we got online payment, auto pay, paperless billing update. Sonia.
I wanted to let you know, customers now can go to townofrobbinsville.com, and there's a lot of options that we have for paying their bill. They can set it up for auto pay, they can have an email notice sent to them, a text reminder, they can pay by text, they can pay by 800 number, and our customers are really enjoying these options. They've been asking about it for a couple of years, and so I believe a combination of this or increasing our late fee has helped, because this month we had 33 less customers that were charged the late fee. So it's helping them stay on time. Our goal is that nobody ever gets shut off and nobody ever has a late fee, because we don't want our customers to have to do that. We don't want them to. But we have now 78 customers that are paperless billing through this. And that saves us with the postage at 40 cents, plus the ink and the paper. So this just is going to be a win-win at townofrobbinsville.com. I'm pretty happy about it.
Okay, next is the water and sewer shut-off ordinance. Customer exception of this ordinance. In your packet, there's a list of 3 that had extenuating circumstances, and we made exception to this ordinance for these 3 people for this one time due to extenuating circumstances.
It would be a second to last page.
You're talking about this one.
Yeah.
It's this one.
Yeah, I see it now. See, former Alderman Jan Brooks, Mayor Zane, and Eddie Brown's town employee, which is the mayor's first cousin.
Okay, just for the record, the mayor had nothing to do with this. It was myself. And
They had had a death in their family, and during that time, they just wanted to come down here, wasn't really able to come down here, and I actually understand that. We have to treat people as if they are a person too, instead of just being
that's why we're saying
money in the till. Even as a credit card person, if you've not been late and you actually are late one time, if you call them, 9 times out of 10, that credit card company will say, well, you haven't been late, or this or that, or I understand. They will take a one-time situation and not give you that charge. And the mayor had nothing to do with my decisions. My decision had to do with treating them like people. I would not want to have my husband pass away and then the town come and cut my water off, just because I was too upset to.
Jan and James was not married.
Well, as far as it being a marriage situation or whatever, it's still a heartfelt thing. I mean,
so we granted those 3 due to extenuating circumstances.
And we want to remember what we're talking about is their July bill, their August bill, and their September bills, what they've been billed. So we don't, just shut you off because you're 3 days late. You have 3 months.
How many other people got their water shut off, Sonia?
43, and they paid the fees, they paid their balance, and that would include an additional $50 deposit. And I've had at least 12 sad stories this month, but I always have. And what is safest for our town employees is that we have a policy that we can follow and that the board just stands behind us because,
Absolutely. It's not fair to those 43 people that got their water cut off.
or for the employees to be threatened because they think that they
Yeah.
can threaten us.
And that shouldn't have been voted on outside of a regular meeting either. And I had no knowledge of it.
From my understanding, you contacted everybody.
We never contact anybody. You passed that two years ago. What we said is 3 months, 2 months past due, we shut off and we make no contact. We do not contact anyone.
Yeah.
Now, if the maintenance is given a list, which has happened many times, because obviously this person they're speaking about, no one's water got shut off. 43 people did, but not these 3. They came into the office or contacted us or contacted you or whatever. Their water was not shut off. They were not required.
And it's like I took what they were going through into consideration. Now, out of those 43, did they have, had they been late before? Did they have these kind of circumstances behind them? Did they,
Are you asking?
and actually, there was some other things that we had discussed too. The charging them that reconnect fee when they hadn't even had their water cut off. I disagreed with that too. I did not want to charge them that. They wanted to charge them that. They wanted to charge that reconnect fee before, and the water wasn't even cut off. So as far as those other 43 people, I didn't agree with that neither,
Well,
Sean.
you voted for it, Daddy. I voted against it. For the record, I voted against that policy. It's unfair to us poor people. We struggle to pay these inflated rates.
I was saying though that I did not agree with charging someone a reconnect fee. I went with that too, but they didn't do that. They went ahead and still charged them that.
Well, it's a policy if you vote against it.
Well, you need to look at, my recommendation is, you're voting on this today, you could not have already voted on it. Is it in last board meeting?
It was supposed to have been voted on in June of this
Well,
year.
you're talking about the cutoffs.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
They voted outside of a regular meeting last week.
no,
No, we didn't vote on anything.
okay, so
Those
that's not been
people
voted
called
on.
me.
no, it's not been voted on.
Okay, it's not been voted on, okay.
Well, they didn't get it cut off. I mean, you can use whatever terminology you want to. They made an exception for them.
As I stated,
You might want to look at, maybe table this and look again at your policy.
We're gonna need something in writing.
Because you
for
all
them to see.
agreed not to contact it, I mean, it was like you were,
Yeah, I didn't agree. I voted against that policy.
well, that's okay, it was, you're one, a board is one.
Yeah, I know, and I'm just saying for the record, I voted
But
against that
whatever you
policy.
voted for, you need to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, I think you had all struggled with water and sewer a lot. And I think there were lots and lots of calls to people, a lot of time taken from staff, and we came up with a policy. We voted as one, whether everyone was in agreement. But if you're gonna change, I think you need to look at your policy and not these individuals, but look at your policy.
I thought about that too. I thought, well, we need to look into our policy. We need to, if we did word it that way, we need to have it,
Bring it back for review.
bring it back and
Before
review
you
it.
decide on this. Well, you shouldn't make, generally you don't make anything retroactive either if you change your policy. I don't know. When you start making it, it's up to you. But I think the policy needs to come back, because you all aren't apparently in agreement with everything in it. And your staff has to carry out your policy.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't fault the staff for carrying out the policy.
No.
So,
Thank you.
allow your staff to carry out the policy until you revise your policy.
Yeah.
It's my recommendation. It's my recommendation is allow the staff to carry out the policy and then revise the policy.
because as it's written, you know,
Wait a second, I'm sorry, but.
I see it as it's written, and you're interrupted. You're wondering if I was talking.
I know, but you didn't finish this one.
We're still on it.
Oh.
You just give me just a second.
Oh, that's what
According to this, you know, it is exactly what it says. I mean, we did agree it when this come through, and it's partially my fault by not reading it entirely myself or understanding it. And when this come about, it was just to add a $15 late fee to the bill.
Yeah, that was me too.
So, but that's my understanding, that's my fault, and I agree we need to revisit this ordinance next month. But in the meantime, we did, on these, one's already paid in full. The other two are, I don't know what the status is on the other two, but one is paid in full. So, I mean, I don't know, I'm at a loss. But I thought we were doing something that was, you know, like Davey said, treating somebody as a human instead of as a piece of paper and a dollar amount. So, as of right now, we'll just, let's see.
You kept saying that,
When we
When-
revise it, we need to.
that at the time you didn't know the full.
And that's my fault for not either reading it entirely or understanding it.
They're under the current one, they're under the current one, and you look into the board reconsidering its policy.
So in the meantime, what do we need to do with these?
The staff carry out its policy, your policy.
Your staff needs to carry out the policy.
So they need to go and pay the additional $50 deposit and the $55 reconnect fee and their balance. Is that right?
That's the policy.
Can you legally charge someone a reconnect fee if the water has not been cut off? Can you? Can you legally charge someone a reconnect fee if their water has not even been cut off? That was my whole thing about it too.
I don't have enough detail on it, I mean, I'm just hearing that it wasn't cut off,
It wasn't.
so I don't know why there's a reconnect fee if it wasn't cut off.
On all of those people.
On a lot of those on that list.
Is that,
Now this list, now the main shut-off list, there was a lot of people that was already charged that cut-off fee, and they got cut off.
And they wasn't. That was my whole upset. I was upset about that
but
too.
you're considered cut off if you haven't paid for 3 months.
You're on the list.
So it's not literally cut off, that's just part of
And
the
they also started the
advisory.
shut-off, but our shut-offs has always been the second full week of the month, and now it's right before we go and read the meters.
They started the cutoff. They changed.
So, and it's all in here, but like I said, I just probably didn't understand this.
And you could put that on your next agenda, but it's, as a technicality, it's not cut off, but the policy, you could, the municipality knows its policy. So,
Can I address what we're talking?
Yeah.
I mean, so, in this situation, what does the board want us to do? They have voted for us not to contact customers. Is the board gonna contact these 2 customers and tell them they're gonna need to do this, or do you want us to tell the maintenance to shut their water off?
Get me
now. I mean, we just need to, instead of.
We don't need to do
piecemeal answering
anything with
questions-
this right now, we need to,
Instead of piecemeal answering questions, it's your policy. You got it, and then put it on the agenda for review. But it's your policy, and whether you literally cut off, our policy is it's a,
And that
it
needs
is
to
a
be in here
cutoff.
too.
It is a cutoff. This is your cutoff here. This is your cutoff. You get to this point and you're cut off. You know, whether it happens is, your policy tells you it's a cutoff.
and it's just, it's words in a, and it's a matter of how the words are on there that it kind of changes everything. It's a matter of changing things.
So,
Oh, I know that. I
So, I
know.
mean, to pick two, it's just, you can't pick out two people.
so, if, well, after the meeting, I'll get up with Sherry and I'll see how much they owe, and I'll contact both of them myself. And then that will handle that problem. And then we'll redo the ordinance. And I'll tell them, you know, if they don't have the total amount in, let's see, we give them an hour after our meeting to get it in here, because they don't, after 4 o'clock, they don't, off or something.
After 4 o'clock, you pay an additional $85 to get it turned back on.
And, I mean, that's up to the board. I mean, I don't care to call them and talk to them. So,
Give them at least until tomorrow. I mean, we're already pushing.
Yeah, we gotta wait. I mean, if you'll send that to everyone too, or maybe, yeah. Send that to everyone, so you'd be ready for the next board meeting.
okay, I think we got copies that are out front. And, but I'll get a dollar amount, you know. And then, we'll go from there. All right. Additional leak credit. This is, at 40 Snowbird Road, is in the Stanley Trailer Park. They were having trouble, they discovered one of their water leaking pretty bad. And, they had 2 fire leaks back in, I wanna say February
And more.
and March.
May.
And, is the current one on top? Yeah, the current one's on top. So you can see they definitely had some type of issue going on. And, they said that they think that they had that problem resolved. And, they were assured the steps of, you know, it seemed like when they leave and they come back, their water's running crazy. Either somebody's using their water or they have a water leak. But they found one of the problems was a bad water line. They replaced it.
Okay.
And, I think our guys are gonna instruct them, you know, cut their water, when they leave, if it don't mess that up in the house, to cut the water off at the meter. That way, you know, if somebody was using their water, then they wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna make a motion to give them late credit.
I'll second. Unanimous. Okay. Do we have anything for closed session?
I do,
Is it town related?
yeah. What do you mean town related?
There was some stuff discussed in the August meeting in closed session. It wasn't town related.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We need the ordinance.
You need to state what you're going into closed session for too.
Or we read that?
They've always read their ordinance. They've always read the closed session motion.
The ordinance was always read.
Yeah, but you have to state your purpose.
It's in there, but they always state the purpose. They've always read it, shown.
In the December 19 meeting. I know that for sure.
Okay. Well, before we go into close, I've got this one thing that Steve had laid out for us. It's about the historic district places. I said, I'm informed you that the above referenced property has been entered in the National Register of Historic Places. Official certificate of listing is in the enclosed. The National Register has been called a roll call of tangled reminders of the history of the United States. And therefore, the pleasure of the Office of Archives and History to participate in this program thereby make nations aware of North Carolina's rich cultural heritage. So that's your copy is on your.
Yeah.
I think it's right there on top.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's all. Steve just wanted to let you know that, and we got some residents that's in here that don't want to be in it, and we're trying to make arrangements with the natural and cultural resources, and trying to get some clarification for them and how to be removed. So.
Thank you, bye.
And then.
Are you going with personnel?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I'll read the first one and the personnel. You read two of them.
I think this is the one, yeah, these two. Okay. Preservation of, what was it, that's one. In pursuit of the provisions of North Carolina General Statute 143, 318-11A, 3 and 143, 318-11C, I move the town of Robbinsville Town Council to close and receive advice from M.L. Davis, attorney, town of Robbinsville Council, which advice comes to preview of the attorney-client privilege. Advance will be given general legal advice about legal issues and legal matters. Personal motion will be pursuant to provision of North Carolina General Statute 143, 318-11C, I move that the town of Robbinsville Town Council go into closing and consider personal matters as defined in and allowed by North Carolina General Statute 143, 318-11A, 6, and North Carolina General Statute 160A-168. Need a motion to go in?
You just read it. You just read it.
Oh, yeah.
Second.
I'm second it.
Okay.
In closed session? I need a motion to adjourn, unless anybody has anything else.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Unanimous. We adjourned at 14:36.